Greg, could you give us a brief summary of Charming?
Well, Charming is what the title says it is, what's on the tin. Charming is the biography of Prince Charming, and Prince Charming has always seemed to me to be one of the figures in fiction that is a bit like Dr. Watson. You know very little about him, and he's been downplayed. And when I came to write him, I started to discover that he had led a quite extraordinary life. Charming is the biography of the early part of that life,
right,
until he meets Cinderella.
Okay, so who is the book aimed at, Greg?
Anybody who enjoys Philip Pullman or J.K. Rowling is going to enjoy Charming. It's a book ostensibly for young people, but I'm pretty sure that adults would enjoy it as well. I suspect it'd have to be a pretty precocious under 9-year-old to enjoy it, but I'm sure that there would be some. I have had some readers under 9 who have enjoyed it, and and it's aimed really at everyone.
Yeah, sure. Do you think it's one of those books? You mentioned J.K. Rowling, one of my favourites, I might add. Do you think it's one of those books where younger people can read it and get something out of it? Older people can read it and maybe get something different out of it?
Well, I think that that's true, not just of Miss Rowling's work, but of every great so-called children's writer's work. I certainly know that I have reread the books that I read in my childhood, Winnie the Pooh included, and have got distinctly different things out of it when I was an adult than when I was when I was a child. And I think that's one of the exciting things about writing for young people. You don't write for young people for a start. I mean, you write for readers, and young people are extremely exigent in their demands, and as they should be. And I really dislike intensely books that patronise young people or condescend to them or believe that they should somehow talk down to young people. I mean, young people are much more honest in their criticism than we grown-ups are.
Absolutely. You've said in the past that when you write a book suitable for younger people, you have to be able to think like that. This shows there's a part in your book where the young people are discovering the joys of birthing, which I find highly amusing, which says an awful lot about me. Was thinking like that difficult for you, or was it all too easy, as it were?
Well, my daughter maintains that I've never grown up, so the short answer to that is that it was both. It was incredibly easy and really quite painful. Not difficult, but quite painful. And it was easy because, yes, I mean, I am very conscious of my childhood, and it's still very much part of my present. It was quite painful because it required me to go to places in my childhood that I really rather not revisit. And that had to do with me as a child. It didn't have to do with my environment. I'm not trying to suggest that I was abused as a child. But it had to do with me feeling very strange in a very hostile world, and I'm very uncomfortable with it. And I had to go back to that place very often when I was writing Charming, because I wanted to re-experience it so that I could re-express that experience for the people reading it.
What do you hope younger and older readers alike will gain from reading this book?
Well, I hope that they'll finish the book and say, well, that was a pretty good book.
Yeah.
Or in fact, I hope they'll finish it and say that was a very good book. That's if they do that, that's great. I'm a bit like Woody Allen. Woody Allen once said of his films, if people come out and enjoy his films, he's done a good job. People come out and enjoy his films and think about what they have seen, he's done an excellent job. But if they come out and think about it without having enjoyed it, he's failed.
Sure.
And I certainly don't stand on an aloof pier and say, well, it doesn't matter to me what my readers think about my books. It matters to me a great deal what my readers think about my books. And I absolutely know that without their input, that my book is an incomplete piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
Without a reader, a book is just an X-tree.
Yeah, sure. What led you to write the book aimed at a younger readership?
I guess because the subject matter dictated that that's what it should be written for. I mean, Cinderella is a story that is associated with young people, and therefore Prince Charming, and therefore it said to me that this is a book for young people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have got tremendous admiration for young people's books. Again, is Jean Brodie, give me a person at an impressionable age and she's mine forever. Well, I think that we have got a responsibility to children and to young people to excite in them their interest and their imagination.
I think there was almost a laziness, and I don't think it's just with the youth. I think there's a laziness throughout, where it's easier to watch the film than read the book. Yes,
but I have yet to come across anybody who has said, "Oh God, I thought that the film was so much better than the book."
Absolutely,
absolutely. It's quite extraordinary. People do obviously, because you can see that in terms of relative audience figures, but it is quite extraordinary. I don't think I have. Well, not quite true. I was going to say I don't think I've ever heard it that way around. But 9 times out of 10, if not 99 times out of 100, you will hear from people that the film was nowhere near as good as the book.
Absolutely.
And the book is not something that you have to go to a designated place at a designated time in order to be able to experience. It's the most mobile form of art that is possible to imagine. You can carry it around with you at all times. You don't need a machine in order to be able to play it. Just pick it up and open it, and you're into a totally different time, a totally different world, a totally different society, a totally different everything else.
I'm just a bit biased. I'm one of these that thinks making a film of a good book should be banned. So
well, I think I know that you would be welcome with open arms if you got off the plane in Los Angeles.
And finally, Greg, have you got a favourite line from the book, and if so, which one?
No, I don't have a favourite line from the book. I suppose as a writer, my favourite line in the book was the end, because it meant that I'd actually finished writing it. But beyond that, I don't have a favourite line in the book. I actually enjoyed my company, my time in the company of Charming. I enjoyed my time in the company of a lot of the characters. One or two of them are quite unpleasant, so I didn't enjoy my time with them so much. Even the kind of the dastardly crossbones, who are kind of rather inept would-be assassins, I actually enjoyed being with them because I kind of enjoyed the fact that they were so totally useless at everything. And I'm particularly anything mechanical, and I'm pretty useless at anything mechanical too, so I had a certain sympathy with them. I can't reduce it to a sentence, Charming. It is just a fun book with some serious side to it, but mostly it's just fun, and I can only hope that people enjoy reading it as much as finally I enjoyed writing it.